9 years ago in Ludendorff, North Yankton. Here's where Grand Theft Auto 5 supposedly begins. For nearly a decade, we have accepted the official narrative, a botched robbery and desperate betrayal that would define Michael, Trevor, and Franklin's lives. The conventional wisdom paints Michael Townley as a career criminal who cuts a secret deal with a corrupt federal agent, betraying his crew to save himself. The ultimate act of self-preservation that kicks everything into motion. But this official story, the one the game feeds you, is carefully constructed BS. The problem is, the evidence shows something else entirely. Look a little closer, and you'll see a panicked amateur scrambling as everything falls apart. When a security guard unexpectedly corners him, Trevor has to execute the man.
I've seen his eyes! He's crazy! I think. Be cool.
And Michael's response?
You didn't have to do that!
Police sirens wail, clearly not part of any plan, and Michael admits the obvious.
It ain't supposed to go down like this!
These are not the words of someone executing a master plan. This is panic. For a decade, we've accepted this chaos as the backdrop for Michael's betrayal. But what if Michael's desperate deal was just the opening move in something bigger? Something orchestrated by the character everyone trusted. To understand the real conspiracy at the heart of GTA 5, we need to demolish its foundation. The myth of Michael DeSanta as some kind of competent long-term planner. Look at his actions forensically, and you'll find someone brilliant in a firefight who becomes catastrophic as a conspirator, which made him the perfect pawn. The North Yankton heist wasn't an orchestrated trap. The overwhelming police response caught them off guard. Their getaway driver died immediately, forcing Michael behind the wheel in a panic. Then a train, a completely random disaster, slammed their escape vehicle, leaving them stumbling through snow on foot. During this total collapse, the final ambush happens. A hidden sniper shoots Brad, then Michael. And Trevor doesn't immediately suspect Michael.
I'm gonna check around back. Ah! Oh, the fucking bed! Someone must have fucking talked! Alright, Brad's gonna be fine. We gotta get the fuck out of here! I'm hit!
Even in that moment, Trevor assumes they've been sold out by someone else, not set up by Michael. The evidence is clear. Michael didn't orchestrate this disaster. His deal with Agent Dave Norton came later, the desperate bargaining of a man bleeding out in the snow. 9 years later, this inability to maintain a conspiracy gets tested when Trevor confronts him.
This is not a game to me! Alright, this is a fucking way of life!
I got a fucking family!
Yeah, well, I got nothing! No one gives a fuck about me!
I do.
Oh. Fuck you!
In Bury the Hatchet, Michael's carefully built reality crumbles instantly. Trevor starts with a question he's obviously been sitting on for weeks.
Let me just ask you something, all right? Something I've been thinking about. Up in North Yankton, exactly who was buried in your place?
A real mastermind would have had an answer ready and anticipated this question. But Michael?
I never gave it any thought.
This is amateur hour. As Trevor storms out to find the truth himself, Michael panics. Over the phone, he abandons his first lie and invents another.
I'm going up there to see it for myself.
You'll be disappointed.
Oh, I'll be something.
It'll be an anticlimax. The grave's empty. Just a bag of sand, something like that. Just smoke and mirrors.
More specific, more detailed, easier to disprove. And this is a fatal error. He swaps out one lie for another. It's a classic mistake. And this is Michael's pattern. He constructs whatever reality suits the immediate crisis. When confronting Trevor about the past, he invents a history for Lester's involvement.
Yeah, and Lester told us not to do that job, but we did it anyway.
It's the perfect deflection. He blames Trevor's impulsiveness for the disaster and paints Lester as the voice of reason who was ignored. But if Lester, the master planner, truly saw the flaws in the North Yankton heist, why would he let his two most valuable assets walk into a buzzsaw? The more logical conclusion is that this is another of Michael's self-serving lies, a story concocted to shift blame away from himself and the true architect of the aftermath, Lester Crest. Michael's pattern reveals his psychology. He can't think past the immediate crisis. His lies work for deflection, not sustainability. He never considers what happens when Trevor actually reaches that cemetery. This short-sightedness makes him both a liability alone and a controllable asset for someone thinking ahead. The inevitable happens in Ludendorff Cemetery. Trevor opens the coffin and finds Brad's corpse. Michael's lies are done. All he can offer is a partial, self-serving confession.
Brad! Look, We do what we gotta do to survive. This thing, it didn't work out the way it was supposed to.
Oh, how was that, huh? With Brad in the can and me in the ground, or both of us in the coffin?
Brad got shot. You saw it. He didn't make it. I got shot. I did. That's it.
This fumbling proves Michael's nature definitively. His skills are tactical and violent. He's deadly in a straight line, but easily outmaneuvered by anyone thinking several moves ahead. While Michael flounders in his own conspiracy, another figure operates from the shadows with surgical precision. Here is the smoking gun that changes everything about this game, found in what seems like a throwaway conversation during casing the jewel store. The setup is that Michael needs cash, desperate to pay Martin Madrazo. He reconnects with Lester Crest after 9 years of zero contact. Lester doesn't ask questions, he states facts. He dismantles Michael's witness protection story with impossible specificity.
Your FIB buddies, they know you're back in business?
FIB buddies? What are you talking about?
I checked out the WPP thing. Doesn't look like any WITSEC program I'm aware of. Well, for starters, they don't put witnesses up in multi-million-dollar mansions in Rockford Hills.
Oh, maybe they thought this would be the best cover.
And most witnesses don't transfer five-figure sums into a particular FIB agent's bank account every month. Of course, the money gets moved around and washed through a number of fronts, but the trail is there. Deposits and withdrawals, the same sum every month. Agent Dave Norton, white middle-aged divorcee, unremarkable career, except for one incident, the shooting of a notorious stick-up man, Michael Townley.
Yeah, all right. Lester, I'm very impressed.
How? How could Lester possibly know any of this? The Michael Norton arrangement was completely off the books, the foundational secret of everything. Those monthly payments would have been laundered through shell companies and fronts to stay untraceable. Hacking federal databases might reveal the missing WITSEC file, but it would never reveal the details of a secret payment scheme between a ghost and a corrupt agent. There is no digital trail that leads here without knowing exactly where to look. Some might argue that this is just Lester being Lester, the master hacker who can find anyone, anywhere. But that misunderstands the nature of the secret. The deal between Michael and Norton wasn't just off the books. It was an analog conspiracy built on handshakes and laundered cash. Dave Norton himself acknowledges how precarious his situation is.
If your problems are my problems, then I guess that means that my problems are sort of your problems.
Nope.
What if I lose my job? Someone comes into my office, starts reading my files. They'll see the things I did. I know a lot of stuff. I can cop a plea, get 5 years, but you...
Norton's fears confirm it. The evidence wasn't sitting on a server waiting to be found, it was buried in redacted files and unofficial agreements. For Lester to know about the monthly 5-figure payments to Michael, he couldn't have just stumbled upon it. He would have had to build the payment system himself. The leap is too vast. Only one explanation works. Lester was never on the outside looking in. He was part of the arrangement from day one. The North Yankton deal wasn't between two men. 3 people capitalized on the chaos. While Michael and Dave scrambled to survive the immediate fallout, Lester was already planning for the next decade. He probably structured the deal. He knew how to make someone disappear, and he set up the untraceable payment system to Dave Norton.
Most witnesses don't transfer 5-figure sums into a particular FIB agent's bank account every month.
Notice Lester's delivery. He's not angry or accusatory. He's bored. This psychological tactic establishes dominance. The message is, I've always known. I've been letting you live this life. You're my asset, and I'm activating you. This single dialogue transforms everything about Lester. He's not someone Michael brings back. He's a stakeholder who's held leverage for 9 years, waiting for the perfect moment to cash in. With Lester established as the silent partner in North Yankton, 9 years of seemingly random events suddenly form a pattern of manipulation and planning. There is a subtle link between Lester and North Yankton, embedded in Michael's own words. A specific theatrical line appears twice, once during the prologue and again during the jewel store job.
We get 1,000 things every day, pal. How about you make sure this is one of them?
Context matters. The jewel store job was meticulously planned by Lester Crest. Every detail is his design, crew selection, escape routes, everything. The crowd control methods, including key phrases to intimidate witnesses without killing them, would be part of his blueprint.
You'll have to source the gas, of course, but crowd control won't slow you down, and that might improve the take.
The line works perfectly. Clever, memorable, and effective. Exactly what a planner like Lester would script. Its appearance in the prologue suggests Lester's influence was there from the beginning. Michael wasn't just using one of his own lines, he was using a phrase from Lester's playbook, a seed planted long before. Lester's genius shows most clearly in his calculated inaction. For 9 years, he kept Michael and Trevor in suspended animation, preserved and controlled. In particular, his manipulation of Trevor is very chilling. During casing the jewel store, Lester admits,
I kept tabs on him for a while, needed to know that he didn't blame me.
Lester actively monitored Trevor. He had to know about the most significant thing in Trevor's life, the fake correspondence he thought came from imprisoned Brad Snyder. Dave Norton confirms this deception in By the Book.
Oh, so that's you who's been sending those fucking letters to Trevor, huh?
Yeah. He thinks they're from Brad, who he thinks is locked up in high security and not 6 feet under in a grave marked Michael Townley.
So let's connect these facts. Lester knew. While keeping tabs on Trevor, he discovered the FIB's psychological operation. He chose to let it continue. Strategic. The fake letters kept Trevor emotionally tethered, geographically isolated in Sandy Shores, and crucially, prevented him from searching for the truth about Michael. Lester let the FIB do his work, ensuring his most volatile weapon stayed safely stored until needed. Now, the game's official narrative suggests Lester simply lost track of Trevor, that Trevor's off-the-grid lifestyle made him too difficult to monitor.
I kept tabs on him for a while, needed to know that he didn't blame me.
Yeah, where'd he go?
North, south, east, west, wherever there were liquor stores to turn over and hitchhikers to disappear.
But consider this alternative. Lester didn't lose Trevor, he let him go. After confirming that Trevor didn't blame him for North Yankton, his primary objective was complete. Letting Trevor run wild in the desert served a dual purpose. It kept him far from Los Santos and Michael, and it allowed his manic energy to fester, making him even more desperate and controllable when the time came. It wasn't a failure of surveillance, it was strategic abandonment. Michael returns to crime after one event.
Amanda! Amanda! You better not be! Not in my house.
Fuck you, Michael. Go away!
I'm paying that turd $150 an hour to fuck my wife in my own bed?
Michael, go away!
No, I'm sorry, bro. She said you had an arrangement.
You and I are gonna have an arrangement. I'm gonna arrange your fucking funeral.
I'm really sorry, bro. I'll comp the session. I promise.
You are dead, man! Fuck! Dead!
Destroying Martin Madrazo's mansion in marriage counseling.
Mr. DeSanta, what the hell? That's not my house!
Bullshit.
Oh, bro, I couldn't afford a place like that. I'm a tennis coach. I hit balls for a living. I was just hiding there.
This creates a $2.5 million debt he can't pay. His instinct in that desperate moment is telling.
Looks like I'm gonna have to postpone my retirement. I'm gonna have to give an old friend a call. Lester.
For Lester, this all culminates 9 years of waiting. Michael's predictable impulsiveness created perfect leverage for reactivation. When they reunite, Lester reveals his true goal immediately.
What do you got?
The Holy Grail. The Union Depository. And they say it cannot be hit.
But he dismisses it as too ambitious, proposing Vangelico instead.
Let's go to Vangelico, buy ourselves an engagement ring.
But this heist serves multiple purposes. It tests Michael's skills, evaluates Franklin Clinton, and acts as a catalyst. Lester knew a high-profile Rockford Hills robbery featuring Michael's signature line would make the news. That wasn't accidental. It was a beacon designed to attract one specific viewer. Trevor's return wasn't a coincidence. It was the predictable outcome of Lester's opening move. Assemble all the evidence and Grand Theft Auto V transforms. No longer a chaotic story of criminals stumbling through entanglements, now a decade-long orchestration. The conclusion disturbs as much as it clarifies. Lester wanted more than money. He wanted intellectual conquest. In high-stakes crime, the Union Depository represents the ultimate challenge, the unhittable score. For someone whose identity rests on superior intellect, the Union Depository wasn't a bank, it was validation. But he couldn't achieve this alone. alone. Physical limitations meant operating through proxies. He needed specific skills. Michael's tactical leadership, Franklin's driving, and Trevor's raw aggression. From this angle, Grand Theft Auto 5 becomes something else entirely. The patient story of Lester Crest assembling his team. The protagonists thought they fought for survival, for escape, for one last major score. But they were being trained. Every FIB entanglement, every Devon Weston conflict, field tests to forge them into the unit he needed. They weren't agents of destiny. They were puppets, their strings pulled by a master working just off screen. Ultimately, GTA 5 wasn't about Michael's redemption or Franklin's rise, and Trevor's chaos was just window dressing. The story belonged to Lester, protagonist and antagonist both, a manipulator who moved his friends like chess pieces toward his goal. This game runs deeper and darker than you remember, so the next time you play it, look out for these clues. And let me know what you find in the comments below that maybe I missed. Thank you all so much for watching. Click like, subscribe, and this video right here is one where I broke down how Skyrim's entire civil war is a lie. Check it out.